Some wild endings for both of these AFC South teams. That the Jacksonville Jaguars hung on and beat the Las Vegas Raiders 30-29, while the Houston Texans narrowly lost to the Denver Broncos on a last-second field goal. Now the Jags go to Houston in this AFC South matchup. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to be breaking down this Week 10 game and providing our predictions at the end. So be sure to stay tuned. Leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. Get notified when new videos come out. And Ryan, couple of great games here. And this is kind of, when you look back at a season, it's a week like this, be like why one team made the playoffs and one didn't.
Yeah.
Jags were a 2-point conversion away from losing to the lowly Las Vegas Raiders. And while the Houston Texans as well, too, they lost their quarterback, CJ Stroud, to a concussion early on in the game. And yet their backup quarterback, Davis Mills, almost still led them to a victory. I say led them. The defense for Houston and Davis
Yeah.
Mills as quarterback almost led them to a victory over one of the hottest teams in the AFC, the Denver Broncos. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And I think that's going to be the thing here too. And the Jags they're also dealing with knee injuries. Sorry, other injuries, as Travis Hunter has a knee injury. Brian Thomas Jr. looks like he left the game as well too with an ankle injury as well. So those are their top two guys. While Houston Texans, they might be without CJ Stroud because of a concussion. But once again, too, what's impressed me most about this Texans team, yes, is this offense improved over the beginning of the year. Yes, that's not saying much because they were awful. But this Texans defense is top notch. I mean, they're super fun to watch here. These two teams have already played, but once again, the only reason why that game was close was because of how well this Texans defense played. And Ryan, just to list off some numbers for you here. Texans defense first in total yards allowed, third in passing yards allowed, fifth in rushing yards allowed. Now they only have 17 sacks on the season, but I mean, to be honest, who really cares when you have those kind of numbers?
Yeah.
So it's like I'll take. I guess we don't keep track on our stat sheet, just this very complex Google sheet that we put all the numbers in, but we don't keep track of tackles for losses. But I'm sure they got to be up there in tackles for
Yeah.
losses as well.
And then pressure rate too, they got to be really high
Got
on
to be
that as
up there.
well. So,
So when it kind of come to this game here, and you go look at the Jags and Trevor Lawrence, who they're 5-3, they've grinded out wins and they've been able to pull out some victories. What do you think the Jags need to do to maybe overcome this great Texans defense, even if they're without both Travis Hunter and also Brian Thomas Jr.?
the biggest thing is can they block these pass rushers up front? They only gave up 1 sack today, but against the Rams and the Seahawks, they gave up 7 sacks in each of those games. And so if they cannot block up front, I think it's going to be a long day for Trevor Lawrence. And also to kind of build off of that, they put up 12 and 7 points in both of those matchups when they were allowed when they
Well,
allowed 7 sacks. So if
and
they
I
let
think
these
those are two. And so I think those are two great examples too, because they both also have amazing front sevens. And
yeah.
and Rams secondary is okay, but the Seahawks secondary is good. The Texans defense though, like their front seven is better than both of those.
Oh, yeah. And so I think that's gonna be really important, for this Jacksonville team is blocking those guys up front, giving Trevor Lawrence the time that he needs. And then from there, can they, one, be healthy in the wide receiver room, but then can they win some of these matchups against some of these corners, specifically like Derek Stingley Jr., who's one of the best corners in the league. So it's going to be a fun one. I think the Jags definitely have a path to victory, especially when you factor in the fact that CJ Stroud has concussion and will be in concussion protocol this week. And so, yeah, I think the Jags can definitely win if they can block those edge rushers and give Trevor Lawrence some time. But yeah, it's going to be. Other than that, I think defensively we have to factor in the fact too that the Jags have some good pass rushers as well, Josh Hines Allen and then Trayvon Walker as well. So I think that's going to be a matchup to watch, especially with this offensive line. Ariante Ursary has really started to play better in the last few weeks. He's been one of the best rookie tackles in this draft class, but then also in the league as well. And
Yeah.
then can this offense continue to not beat themselves? Like I remember they've had multiple snaps in multiple games, whereas like CJ Stroud would turn around to hand the ball off, and the running back is either already by him, went the wrong way, like thought it was a different play, or offensive lineman just totally missed assignments. Like I think back to the Jeffrey Simmons one, and it's like the one guy on that defensive line you need to make sure you block, and like nobody even puts a finger on him. And
Yeah.
so, like, if they can continue to not do that, I think that that'll be good here for the Texans. But I think that this Jags defense has improved I know they gave up a lot of points here late to the Raiders, but this Jags defense has improved, and they do have some really good game records up front.
Well, I think that's the thing too. When I look at this matchup here now with C.J. Stroud being out, you're going to have to go with Davis Mills, your backup quarterback. If there was a weakness
Most
in
likely.
it most likely that's fair. He's got to go through the concussion protocol, but there was a weakness in this Jags defense. It would be in the passing game. They've given up 259 passing yards per game, 30th. That ranks them 30th in the whole league, but they're eighth in rushing yards allowed, with 93 rushing yards per game. And not like the Texans statistically have been super great just in general, but if there was going to be a game where I think they've started to expand a little bit more, like where you've got Collins, you got Higgins, you have Jalen Noel, you have these emerging young receivers as well too that started to blend a little bit better together, and you're still running the ball decently well, uh, um, at 108 yards rushing per game. Still slightly below average. That puts them at 22nd amongst the rest of the league, and slightly below average and just in passing yards as well at 212, at 212, 18th overall. But I still think though it's CJ Stroud is going to be able to sling the rock a little bit better, I think, than Davis Mills, even though he did do horrible today, to be completely fair. 17 for 30, 137 yards against the Denver Broncos defense. And he's a veteran guy. Like, he's still there, even to when they drafted him from a couple years ago. So, like, there's opportunities for him to throw the ball. But once again, I think the way the Texans are going to win this one is going to be, I think, speed the game up as quickly as possible. Really lean on that defense, just like how you have all year. Try and shut down Trevor Lawrence. Shouldn't be difficult, in my opinion, especially too if Travis Hunter seems like he's going to be out for a significant amount of time, and by that I mean like he's probably going to go on IR if
No,
he's
he
not
is on
already.
IR. They did put
Okay,
him on IR.
perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just want to confirm that. But Brian Thomas Jr. will have to watch him as well. So if those two guys are out this week, then it shouldn't be difficult to be like, hey, we got to pin our ears back because who else is Trevor Lawrence going to throw to? I mean, Parker Washington's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but those three guys are probably the most dynamic of that Trevor Lawrence has to throw to. And if it's just Parker Washington's not the main guy. I know you got De'Ami Brown here, but um, I still think that what this game's going to come down to is just I think Jacksonville's just going to struggle to move the ball. And I think Davis Mills and company, they're going to be able to do it just enough to where it's going to be another low scoring kind of scrappy game. Probably something similar to what the score was earlier this year, 17-10. But I think Houston's going to win this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. Like you said, I think like 17-10. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring with both these offenses. If I will change my pick if CJ Stroud plays. If CJ Stroud does not play, I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this defense is good enough to take advantage of Davis Mills, especially if he is making some errant throws, and they'll have a whole week to game plan specifically for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this Jags offensive line, especially in a division game, they'll have seen these edge rushers before. They'll kind of know what to do. But I just think the Jacksonville is going to be a little bit better, especially if Davis Mills is the starting quarterback. If CJ Stroud is in, I think that is at best a wash at the quarterback position. If not, CJ Stroud's maybe a little bit better. I'm very curious to see how the comments react to that statement, because I think either fan base is going to root for their guy. But all in all, I just think the Jags are going to be the better team if CJ Stroud can't go, and I think it's going to be tough for the Texans to pull out a win here.
That's fair. Yeah, no. This is going to be a close one. It's going to be low scoring. Like, what the Jags do well, the Texans can stop, and
Yeah,
then what the Texans like their offense isn't really particularly great, but it's not really like the Jags defense. Like, they can stop them,
yeah,
but not in the same way that the Texans can stop the Jags offense.
yeah.
In a much worse way. So division game, big overall though. But so as I talked about though here, kind of quickly, playoff picture is definitely big in. So one, just real quick, AFC South breakdown: Colts game and a half up on the Jags. They're 7-2. Jags are 5-3. Texans 3-5. So this is huge for the AFC South and their hopes to stay in a division title, because they do still play the Colts twice. But on the flip side though, I'm pretty sure they do actually.
Yeah.
Could you double check that for me here while I'm listening
The
to this all?
Jags have not
But
played the Colts yet.
no, the Texans. I mean, I don't
Oh.
think the Texans have played the Colts either. I think there's still 4 games,
I don't. Yeah, they haven't. I don't think they have either.
but The Jags right now hold the last spot. They don't. So perfect. Jags now hold the last spot in the playoff thanks to tiebreaker over the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans are ninth as of right now, but they're sitting at 3-5, so they're already 2 games back, and they don't have the tiebreaker against the Jacksonville Jaguars as well too. So you lose this game, that's one team now that you're dead to rights with. You're 3 games down back from the Jags just in general, and you don't have the tiebreaker on. So you really need to somehow get like 3.5, 4 games up on them with only 7 games, nine, seven, yeah, 7 games. No, sorry, I'm doing the math wrong. 8 games ago. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was thinking 16 games still, but long like this is you're getting close to kind of do or die moments here for the Houston Texans. This is a big one for the division, but also your wild card hopes as well.
Yeah. They do play the Colts. The Texans do still play the Colts
Yeah,
twice, including week 18.
yeah,
Which could be totally meaningless for the Colts or could be for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Who knows?
potentially.
Um, but yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. I'm looking forward to it. The AFC is a total crapshoot amongst those top like 8 teams right now. Who it's like you say, you're hot or you're not right now in the AFC. So it's going to be good. Let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Jacksonville Jaguars? Will it be the Houston Texans? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.